And putting in that many hours of training while trying to put on it's work. You're eating like an animal. So part of it is just drinking straight oil. To one, get my body used to that, because I'll be doing that on the expedition as well. As part of it is we'll be just drinking oil is just straight calories, right? But obviously you can't drink too much of that. That's not really good for digestion, to say the least. So I do a little bit of that, because again, when you're trying to eat so much fats, oil is the only thing that's pure fat. So there's no carbs or proteins in it, so part of that I've gotten used to at one point, like drinking like 50 grams of oil a day, just mix it with some water or in a protein shake or whatever, and just down a ton of oil.
There's different ways to do it. I remember when I was teaching, actually, I had like a jar of olive oil like in this cupboard by my desk that I would just like when I was on like a big training block, and it was like, I mean, you get busy when you're working a full-time job, and it's like easy to like not eat enough and then realize you the hard part is like you get to the end of the day, you've done a couple of workouts, and you're like, dang, I'm only like halfway to my calorie goals for the day, and now I have to eat this like uncomfortable amount of food. So it's like you do all these weird little things to try to make sure you don't get yourself in that situation in the first place. So like when I was since I was low carb, I was gonna try to do like oils, like you said, something that's pure fat in a lot of cases.
Straight, exactly.
And I remember one day, so I would just take pulls from it, like sometimes, like in between classes, like it wouldn't be much, so it wasn't like kind of all that disgusting like it would be if I tried to actually like physically drink a glass of it.
Exactly.
And so it's almost just like a palate cleanser type amount of oil. And like, and I remember at one point I remember thinking, it's like, this olive oil bottle sort of looks like a bottle of wine. I'm better like make it known what I'm doing here.
Exactly. People like, he's just getting drunk in the middle of class.
In trouble. But yeah, so it's interesting stuff. But
you do what you got to do.
Yeah, because there's kind of two components to that. There's you want to start the event with sort of a dietary approach you're familiar with, just so that, like you said, like you have like the fat oxidation rates that may be impacted by the duration in which you're doing it. So kind of going in cold turkey may not be good for that. But then it's just the digestibility. So there's probably like a digestibility threshold in general with certain things like oils that probably ranges from one person to the next. But then there's also going to be like an adaptation, I would imagine, where like in the beginning your threshold is this, but if you're doing it for 6 weeks, that threshold may increase and get closer to or hopefully to what you're going to actually be doing out there.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I was at a point, and I'd kind of stopped a little bit now. Life's been a little crazy moving around, but drinking like 50, 60 grams of oil a day, and no issues digestion-wise. I also moved initially when I first started doing it, I drank like 50 grams of MCT oil. MCT oil was disastrous on my digestion. That was not a good day. So I moved to avocado oil.
It's a great way to lose weight, maybe.
Exactly. So I moved to avocado oil. So you live and learn through making some mistakes as you go through this process. But yeah, I moved to avocado oil, and now even like, I mean, I could easily, I'm sure, drink 20, 30, no issues, and just kind of increase a little bit from there.
It's kind of a bummer because MCT oil would be probably the best option if you could handle it.
I do have a little bit in one of my buddies is a supplement formula designer, so he made a custom made supplement for me for Antarctica, because my diet isn't exactly healthy out there, right?
Right. Yeah.
So his supplement gives me all the micronutrients, the vitamins. It does have some MCT oils in there as well, so I'm getting a little bit through that source. And I forget what else. I mean, it's a beast of a supplement. It's got like shilajit and like this, that, and the other thing. It's an absurd amount of ingredients he's concocted together in this mix.
I would imagine like explorations and long duration things like this where you're self-supporting has gotten a bit of a technological advantage just from food chemistry.
For sure.
Now you can just dehydrate stuff. You can get like you in the past you'd probably come back with all sorts of deficiencies.
Yeah.
Now you kind of can be on top of that.
Yeah,
actually.
way back when they used to get scurvy and all kinds of stuff, right? Thankfully we don't have that issue anymore. Definitely a lot more knowledge since then. Yeah. And I'm blessed with a good team who makes this possible. My buddies created like an insane supplement, and all the help I've gotten, even coming up with a nutritional plan, which has been invaluable, and I put it to the test on previous expeditions as well.